Welcome to the Four Listeners Program. Welcome aboard, everybody. Thanks for checking us out this week. What up, everybody? I'm Spear. On the mics this week is the Z-Man. What is up, Z?
Money, it's a gas. Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash. New car, caviar, 4-star daydream. Think about me off football team.
Okay. On the other mic is the mighty Gantor. What is up, Gantor?
Yo,
What's up?
football season's almost here,
Football
bitch.
season. Football season's coming. Thank God. This week, what the hell are we talking about? This week, something must be done about things you can buy stock in. I kind of got started on this with Facebook. Because I was involved in this whole conversation kind of on the periphery of whether or not you should buy Facebook stock. Facebook, it closed today up at around $75. So the question becomes, all right, it's already up. Is it going to keep going up? You know, even at $75, is it a good investment?
No, it's a terrible investment, dude.
Why do you say that?
In what way is Facebook going to make revenue
Well, I mean,
and therefore profit?
people still think that Facebook is an up and coming company. I mean, the stock price has been going up and up and up steadily since the IPO.
Your mom invited me to her IPO.
That's funny.
I'm just gonna move on. I mean, you look at Facebook's portfolio. I mean, they got the Instagrams, they got the Zynga, they got the Oculus Rift. So one could argue that they are well positioned for the future. You know, you got that whole Instagram thing, you got mobile games and online games, and you got the future of virtual reality, which has been hot.
No, virtual reality is going to fail just like it's always failed. Never succeed.
Oculus Rift has been super hot, dude.
So?
Super hot. They had that whole
So?
Game of Thrones thing. It's people go crazy for it.
You know what else was super hot?
What's that?
Tamagotchi.
Gotcha.
Oh, here we go. Tamagotchi. What is it?
Where's that now, huh?
It's Tamagotchi, dude.
Where's your stock now?
What did you have? Did you have Tamagotchi?
Facebook is
stuff?
not a fad, though. Tamagotchi is obviously a fad. I mean,
How
you
is
could've-
Facebook not a fad? Look at MySpace.
Your mother's using Facebook.
That's exactly why it will be a fad.
No, that's why it's got staying power.
All the kids are going to move to
The
something else.
kids are definitely going to move off, but the parents are the ones that actually have money. They're the ones that plays the Zynga games and actually spend money on Candy Crush.
Nobody spends money on Candy Crush, do they?
They spend money on Candy Crush.
What?
Dude, how do they think they make billions of dollars? $1 at a time.
I didn't think they made billions of dollars.
They do.
I don't know.
Dude, I had a friend who posted on Facebook. She's like, I need a new game because I spend too much money on Candy Crush. If you've gotten to the point where you realize you spent too much money on Candy Crush,
You've
you
spent
spent
too
a
much money.
lot of money on Candy Crush.
So the argument is though that young people, are leaving Facebook in droves. According to an article here in Time Magazine, 11 million young people have fled Facebook since 2011. This was from January, early this year. That is not an insignificant number, right? Because growth is going to be based on young people and their friends.
But the growth, who cares about the growth, though? I mean, the growth, at some point, you're going to stop, and there's only so many people. And I assume that, what percentage of the world does Facebook have?
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Facebook is popular because everyone had to get on it. And then what happens when the next big thing comes up that everyone has to get on, whether it's Snapchat or whatever the hell comes next?
I was on Facebook because I was trying to bang a bunch of college chicks.
There you go.
How'd that work out for you?
It didn't work.
What happens when the next thing comes out so that you can go bang college chicks?
Well, I'm married now with kids, so...
Is that going to stop you?
Dude, think
What kind of
future.
question is that?
Think future once you're back in the market.
Once your wife wises up and leaves your dumbass. Oh, now he's mad.
Now he's mad.
Don't sulk over there. I know you're still there. You didn't hang up. So what the fuck? I'm going to get the silent treatment. He's going to do this all night now. Anyway, the stat here from this article is that there has been a 25.5%, negative 25.5% growth in the age 13 to 17 bracket. In the 18 to 24, negative 7.5%. When you talk about like the target demographic that everyone wants to go after, it's usually the 18 to 24.
Yo, guys, sorry, I had to go get some water.
He was
Thirsty
crying.
as hell.
He was crying too much.
What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You'll hear it in the playback.
What was the last thing you heard?
Something about, crap. I can't even remember now.
That's good. Don't worry about it. Right. So negative growth in the key demographic, Z-Man.
What's the key demographic? I got to think that Facebook's key demographic is going to be people who actually have money and buy things.
Key demographic are always the younger people because those are the emerging people. That's the emerging group that's going to have.
That's got to
money.
be their original key demographic to get everybody else on board. Now, they're happy with the old people. They don't want the young people. Young people don't buy shit.
Young people don't buy shit, but then young people drop off, and then who's there once all of their existing audiences just kind of peter off?
Housewives and old people.
So you're saying
The
that
ones who actually are easily scammed into buying stupid things and
They-
clicking on links.
So you are banking. If you were buying Facebook stock, you are banking on the sheep that are older and are going to just spend money on like Farmville and whatever the fuck else.
Yeah.
What say
What
you,
else, they,
Ganthor?
what else they have to do?
Oh. What say you, Ganthor? Good investment or good investment because the old people just playing?
No. I would follow whatever the teenagers are doing now and invest early in that. So
New
then in 5
technology's
years,
hard. I have to keep using things I know.
5 years, you'll be in on the ground floor when that thing takes off.
So you're talking about getting it on like the Snapchats and the things like that.
And WhatsApp and yeah.
WhatsApp, Snapchat, right?
Yep.
Yeah, for
So
what
that's
it's
what you do. You follow your kids, your teenagers. Not
Yeah.
that way, Z, but
So that's one thing you can buy stock in. Let's talk about a few things that you can't buy stock in. So, Z-Man, you are an avid DVR user.
I am.
So if you could buy stock in DVRs, would you buy stock in DVRs?
As a technology?
As a technology, as a product?
Now or in 2000?
Right now.
No.
Why not?
Because nobody's going to have cable in the future unless they come up with a way now to be able to DVR shit that. Okay, here's my great idea. You got Comcast, right?
I do.
Most of you. Okay, you got on demand, right?
I do.
Why the fuck can I just not say, hey, on demand, bookmark this and throw it to my DVR? I want to watch it later. Why do I actually have to do it through their system at the time that I'm watching it?
So in other words, why can't you just set up a queue?
Why can't I set up a queue saying, hey, I really like this show. When they're ready, just throw it in this folder.
Yeah, so you're looking for like a smart aggregator of online streaming content.
Right, that automatically just puts it on my computer or puts it on my device or whatever. Because, and to be able to do that for all these third-party systems, so now Amazon Prime, or whatever, Amazon on-demand service is called,
Yep.
HBO to go, Showtime on the go,
The Hulu.
the Hulu, all those things. I want to be able to get all that shit, all that content, physically on my computer or on my box, my whatever device, so that I can watch it whenever I'm ready, and then I can cut my cable.
Well, you wouldn't need to download it necessarily. You would just need to have access to it, at a glance.
A pointer.
A
yes.
pointer to it, right? You wouldn't need necessarily to download it. You would just need to have it there so that you can go bloop bloop, and then there
Yeah.
it is. It's streaming automatically. I mean,
I don't know. I just want a way to be able to aggregate all that stuff together in one place and be able to watch it at my leisure.
There you go. Ganthor, would you buy stock in DVRs, or are you getting in on the on-demand craze?
I can't make up my mind because nobody really pays for DVRs, and so I don't see how you'd buy money in it. Now,
We
if
mean
this
no
was
one pays
just-
for it.
Who pays for it? Who has bought a DVR?
I did.
I
I
did.
bought 4 of them.
TiVos?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a weird edge case. That
Dude, I will
Many
never
people
live
do.
without a TiVo.
I agree with you. I probably bought 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 TiVos through the course of my life, but I'm not buying any more because they come for free not for free, but they come with.
Well, you pay monthly, right?
Yeah.
You pay monthly
Well,
with
it-
cable box or the
Generally,
satellite,
yeah,
whatever
but
it
that
is.
cost has been going down. It's
Yeah, but-
pretty soon. It's just going to be seen as minimum requirement
Yeah, but
to
I
be
can-
even considered. Like the fact that you can get cable service without a DVR at this point seems strange to me.
On the other hand, the streaming thing is becoming more and more prevalent. You have all these cheap ways of doing it. You have your Chromecasts, you have your Apple TVs, you have the Rokus, and Roku just announced this week that they are built. They're going to start selling Roku TVs. And the nice thing about Roku, as opposed to like the Apple TVs and the Chromecasts, is that all of those channels, all those like online channels, if you will, the Hulus, the Netflix, the Voodoos, the HBO Goes, the what have you, they're all built right in. So if you really wanted to queue it all up, eventually when you get there, Roku's probably got that market cornered. So we are saying DVRs are, I mean, despite the fact that you can't live without them right now, is a probably bad investment.
I think they're on the way out. Yes, I would agree.
Gantor?
No, I think they're here to stay.
You think DVRs are here to stay?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
I think DVRs in some form, but not the form they're in right now.
You think?
Like I don't think TV. I don't think TiVo and DirecTV are going to be your big guys anymore.
You think it's going to be like the Rokus and the Apple TVs and the things like that?
It's going to be somebody else. Yeah.
All right. So how about this one, Gantor? You're a big college sports fan,
Yep.
right? So would you buy stock in the NCAA?
College sports, yes. I don't know about the NCAA because of how terrible they are.
How terrible they are? How so?
Like the whole restrictions on what student athletes can do. You know, student athletes can't get benefits and can't get this and can't do that and can't sell their likenesses, and you can't, do any sort of thing related to who you are as a student athlete, but they sell, access to sports. Maybe not the NCAA, it's the schools and conferences and whatnot in association with that, but they get a shit ton of money off those athletes. So
I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yep.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's only until recently that nobody actually called them on their shit. Ed O'Bannon was a basketball player for UCLA. And he was sitting there playing video games one day, and he was playing a NCAA basketball game and was playing with the UCLA 1995 national championship team, was playing with a digital likeness of himself, and it dawned on him that he never got paid for his appearance in that game. The digital avatar looked like him, it was wearing his number, even had his own lefty shot, and he never got paid for any of that. So he sued. He sued the NCAA, and just recently the decision came down where college athletes now are allowed to be paid for their likeness or their image in collegiate sports. Billions of dollars in television revenues and licensing fees are tied to this decision, where the NCAA was likened to a cartel taking advantage of its student athletes.
absolutely, see, that's why I wouldn't buy stock in the NCAA, but college athletics in general, sure, that's not going to go anywhere.
Did we talk about just professional sports in general?
Would you buy stock in professional sports?
Yeah. Like
Why?
if they made that public, if they made like your teams public and you could trade.
Like the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. Like I want to buy options in the Green Bay Packers because they're awesome and the team's good and the management's awesome. And
Well, you can. The Green Bay Packers are publicly traded.
are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's why I said like the Green.
Oh. Are they the only one or is
They are
is
the
there
only
others?
one.
They're the only ones.
Oh, why is why?
Because
How else
the
do you
own-
think Green Bay, Wisconsin has a team?
Because the rest of the owners in the National Football League are making gajillions of dollars. Why in the
Right, but that seems like a silly thing for the NFL to allow one team to do it.
Do you know how long the Green Bay Packers have been around?
So the Green Bay Packers were founded on August 11th in 1919 and floundered for a while. They were granted a franchise in the new NFL in 1921, but the franchise was forfeited because they didn't have the money to keep up the franchise rights. So they ended up creating the Green Bay Football Corporation with 5 backers, and that was the first creation of this Green Bay company. And they do this every so often. They you can't just it's not publicly traded, but they offer stock every so often. The last stock sale was in 2011. And that was 1923, 35, 1950, 1997, and 2011 they had stock sales.
So I can't just go and buy stock.
You can't just go and buy stock unless they open up the stock sale and they offer more shares.
So as a shareholder, do you get a vote in like who the coach is going to be?
I think it's non-voting stock.
That would be funny though, if it was voting stock and you could say, "I don't like Mike McCarthy."
Well, I mean, like you could just like vote
I'd
to
have
tank.
ousted.
You could like buy money in it and then or buy stock in it and then vote to tank the team.
So I got to imagine that if you are a because that would be really interesting if you were an owner
Of another team,
of
right?
an NFL team. I got to think that there's some clause in your franchise that says that you can't do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It seems really weird to allow one team to do it and no other team.
Well, there it is, the Green Bay Packers.
Hmm.
So be on the lookout, Z-Man. Be on the lookout
All
for
right.
the next stock offering, whenever it is. You too can be a shareholder in the Green Bay Packers. How about this one? Guardians of the Galaxy has made $225 million as of the recording of this show. Worldwide, it has made $421 million.
Good for them.
It's a lot of dollars.
It's a lot of dollars. It's a lot of dollars. I mean, Marvel, and by extension Disney is printing money with all of these movies that they've made, stretching all the way back to Iron Man, the first Iron Man, which kind of kicked the whole thing off, and then going through Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Thor 1, Thor 2, Captain America 1, Captain America 2, The Avengers, Guardians. There's an Avengers movie coming out next year. Ant-Man is coming out next year. There's going to be another Guardians movie. There is a plan to make Marvel movies 1 or 2 a year leading all the way out through 2020. Marvel movies, good or bad investment? Z-Man.
Good.
Good investment. Why?
Because people are going to keep seeing it and there's nothing else coming out. So what else can I go see right now if I don't want to see a superhero movie?
Not much.
Nothing.
Superhero movies are the shit right now. DC, by extension Warner Brothers, now has a plan to make DC movies all the way out through 20-something or other, 2020.
Yeah, but dude, DC heroes suck, okay?
Well, I mean, they got the Batman Superman movie coming out in 2016, and then following on to that, there's a whole plan where they do these individual character movies and then event movies every 2 years.
Besides Batman, name one good DC superhero.
They got the Batman, they got the Superman,
Superman sucks, okay?
they got the Green Lantern.
Green Lantern is
The
a
Aquaman.
step above
the
Aquaman.
the Aquaman of not water.
Exactly.
They got Aquaman. Do you know who's playing Aquaman? The guy who played Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
This could be the baddest of badass Aquaman ever.
How does
No, they're
that
gonna-
does not even Aquaman is a total puss. How is he even a superhero? How many criminals commit crimes in the water?
It's like the Manta guy.
That's the only one.
That's it. There's a Manta guy. What the fuck? I don't know.
He's got one
That's
arch
why-
enemy.
DC sucks, okay?
All right, so you certainly wouldn't buy stock in
No,
DC,
not DC,
in
absolutely
DC
not.
movies. But what about the Marvel? I mean, they're printing money with these movies. I mean, every one of them is good for at least a $500,000 in domestic.
$500 million, you mean?
A $500,000 is at least worth a $500,000,000.
Yeah, I just don't get why they had to reboot Spider-Man already. Didn't they already do that in 2000 something?
Well, that's not even Marvel. That's Sony. Sony has to keep making Spider-Man movies, or they relinquish the rights back to Disney. So they're on their whole kick, where they're going to make Spider-Man, and then they'll make a Venom movie, and then a Sinister Six movie, and then the whole routine. Same goes for Fox and the X-Men.
That's
What's that
just
deal?
dumb.
My thing with the Marvel movies is that I think eventually, like anything else, they'll get fatigued, and the actors will get old. They'll start running out of stories to tell, and then off you go, and then people will stop going. They'll just cease to be popular.
When in the past has this ever happened like this? Like how do we make sure that this stops? How do we kill this fad?
I don't
Is
know.
it-
I don't. It's kind of unprecedented. I mean, the only other franchise, the two franchises that come to mind are James Bond. Right, James
Yeah.
Bond went on forever,
Yeah.
and nobody really got tired of James Bond. They just kept swapping out. They kept
Because
swapping
it was
out
a
James
new
Bond.
story every time.
Well,
How many times can Spider-Man fight Green Goblin?
That is a fair point. But they rebooted James Bond recently, the Daniel Craig version. They rebooted him. They rebooted James Bond. They rebooted Q. Right? Q's not some old gadgety dude anymore. Now he's this young, like, hacker dude. Right?
Yeah, but this story supports that transition. Their roles played by people.
Well, you could always have a different quartermaster. You could always have a different Q. But James
Right,
Bond
that's-
is the guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that what Q stands for?
Quartermaster, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there you go. But I mean, they kept. I mean, James Bond has been reinvented with different actors and different technology and different stories for the last, 30 years? Could you do the same with, say, Iron Man? Could you just swap out the actor playing Iron Man and just say, okay, we're going to reboot Iron Man now? Which is basically
That's what they'll do.
Guaranteeing that's what they'll do, yeah.
Dude, iron's not even a good metal for stuff. Like Titanium Man or something like that. Sure, Iron Man? No, who cares?
Don't get distracted, Ganthor. Stay focused on me here. Can Marvel keep making these movies without fatiguing the audience and without holding on to the actors that are making these characters beloved?
No, they have no creativity.
I think the only way out is for them to make a shit movie like Transformers and just finally nobody cares anymore.
So you
Like
think
if there was a new Transformers movie out, would you go see it?
I didn't go see the last one.
Oh, yeah, neither did I.
No, I'm not seeing that shit. It's all CGI crap.
It used to be like, oh my god, it's all CGI, yeah.
I'm sick to death. I'm sick and tired of CGI. People do CGI cars. You can't rent a car and just drive it like a car should be driven. You have to do it in CGI.
So here's the good news, right? The good news is that the directors for the new Star Wars movies have come out and said that they're going to be using much more practical effects. So they're getting away from all the green screens and blue screens that Lucas fell in love with in the prequels. And they're actually building sets.
Stop calling them prequels.
What would you call them?
Don't acknowledge them.
All right. So for the movies that shall not be named, they're moving away from the green screen of those movies, and they're building sets and practical effects. And each of the directors that they're bringing on have been saying all the same thing. We love the practical effects. We love the realness that it brings. We love that the actors can act with them.
And you're not talking to some stick on some dude's head.
That's right. But I worry about Star Wars fatigue because Disney has the same plan for Star Wars that they have with Marvel. That they'll do event movies, meaning episode 7, 8, 9, and however many more they make after that. And then in between those are these spin-off movies, and who knows what the hell those are going to be like.
Yeah, that scares me.
I mean, you can look at the Star episode 7 coming out as a reboot.
All the characters are going to have the same damn names, right?
I don't know.
Well, it's going to be the same story. I mean, it's got to be the same fodder, or what do you call it?
Same what?
Fodder? Is that what you call it? Like the shit they draw from.
The same canon?
Cannon. Thank you, not fodder. Cannon fodder is what I was thinking. The same canon. Thank you.
You are amazing. Your grasp of the English language is so
mind-boggling, I know.
Amazing. It's amazing. So, I mean, for me, the Marvel movies, bad investment. I hate to say it. Bad investment. I think eventually they run out of interesting stories to tell. I mean, the fact that there's an Ant-Man movie, I don't know what the fuck that's about. I said the same thing about Guardians of the Galaxy when I first saw the trailer. So, you know what? I don't know. Ganthor, good investment or bad investment?
If they do new material, good investment. If they're just going to stick with the same old shit, bad.
If you invest now, you will get your money's worth. It's still on the upswing.
I don't know. You might be right, but I don't see them being creative enough to come up with new material.
Any other things you would buy stock in?
Your mom?
Nope.
I mean, if you could have bought stock in your mom from like a long time ago, you'd be rich.
So right now you're saying she's a bad investment?
She's probably on their downside because, she's had a couple kids. I don't know, was she pushing 60?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking my mom's a little played out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ganthor, bad investment? Or you think she's got some room to grow?
No.
Bad investment.
Yeah.
So my mom's a bad investment.
She is.
She was a good
dude.
She was a good investment.
Was a good investment, but she's been tricked out.
Yeah.
If you're a pimp, sure.
Right. Good. All right. What did we learn, Z-Man?
Well, I learned that you can buy stock in the Green Bay Packers.
There you go.
Mind blown.
There you go. Ganthor, what'd you learn?
That you like terrible movies.
I don't like terrible movies. He's making reference to the movies that shall not be named.
Oh. He didn't like them. He just
and the
tolerated
DC
them.
movies. No, you own them, don't you, Sphere?
I own all of them.
He owns them in every format that ever came out, but that doesn't mean that he liked them.
I do. I like them.
See?
All right, whatever.
I learned that my mom's all tricked out. I know
You didn't learn that. You knew that.
Well, she's a bad investment. Anyways, if you think my mom's tricked out, why don't you go ahead and let us know on the Facebook page. Facebook.com/4listeners or 4listeners.com. You can check out the show on Stitcher Radio or on iTunes. Just search for 4 Listeners and we'll pop right on up. We thank you for checking us out this week, and we hope that you will check us out again next week. Thanks a bunch, everybody.